Wizards of Magos, a place where we unbox, review, and explore. And today I have a very special treat for you. Think of the number 8, think of the number 9, think of the Weasley family. Oh, yeah, I love it. Okay, so today we are going to look at all of the Weasley wands right here, right now. Where have you been? Molly Weasley's wand. That's right. We start off with Molly Weasley's wand. She has a non-corporeal Patronus. And can you guess what this wand is? Right! Unknown length, unknown wood, and unknown core. I think that's going to be true about most of these wands in this video. All of the Weasley wands. But we do know that her wand is 14.5 inches or 36.5 centimeters. Now, what can I say about Molly Weasley? The best way to describe her is, excuse my language, but I mean, she's just a badass. Walk into Molly Weasley's house. What's the first things that you see? You don't see Molly Weasley scrubbing the dishes or sitting there on the couch knitting. No. Her magical abilities are unprecedented. You see the dishes doing themselves. The water is running itself. The knitting is doing itself. You see all of the household chores that would usually take us all day and take up the majority of our day. You see all of that being done by magic. Produced by Molly Weasley. Who knows where she is? She could be upstairs reading a book or upstairs producing more magic. As far as I know, for most witches and wizards to be able to produce spells like that, they have to be in the vicinity. I want those dishes over there done. Washy, McWashy. And I have to stand there the whole time. And, you know, I'm not doing it, but I'm using my wand to make it get done. She isn't nowhere to be seen. So is it really that surprising that she has the ability to kill one of the most powerful witches of all time in Bellatrix Lestrange? Mind you, without even using the Avada Kedavra. This is something that you would never expect out of Molly Weasley. The loving mother. The mother that will take you in when nobody else would. That would take you in without question like she took Harry in. Now, let's take a look at her wand. Let's go ahead and take off this name tag. Her wand is pretty much perfectly straight. And it's got kind of a dark walnut color. Now, her wand is like a log. It's stiff. It's thick. It has good weight to it. Now, you know me, weight means quality, but there's not really much going on with this wand. It's got a decent handle. My hand fits in there perfectly to do the spells that I need to do. It's got a little bit of a design to the handle, a little bit of a rounded bottom, and the shaft of the wand, it's just perfectly symmetrical. It's got a couple of dips in there, and we go down to the trademark stamp right there. This is a 2020, which is curious because I bought all my wands in 2020, but most of them say 2018. So I'm curious to see what the dates on these wands are going to be. But this right here is Molly Weasley's wand. This is probably one of the most basic wands out of the Weasley family as we head over to Arthur Weasley's wand. Now, Harry, you must know all about this. Tell me, what exactly is the function of a rubber duck? That's right, Arthur Weasley right here with the golden name tag, the guy that's always so interested in muggles, and rightfully so, right? He works for the misuse of muggle artifacts in the Ministry of Magic. Arthur's Patronus is very fitting in my opinion, as it is a weasel. His name is Weasley and his Patronus is a weasel. I find that actually a little funny. But here we are with Arthur's wand. And take a guess at this one. That's right. Unknown length, unknown wood, and unknown core. But we do know for a fact on this channel, I measured all of the wands before this video. His wand is 15 3/4 inches long, or 40 centimeters. Now, this is a rather long wand for the Weasley families. And you got to think of Arthur's magical abilities. He can change cars into flying cars, and that car actually had a mind of its own. Remember, when Ron and Harry crashed in on the Whomping Willow, it took off and lived in the forest. It pretty much thought for itself. So I don't know if he meant to do that on purpose, or if he did do it on purpose. His magical abilities are very good. He was in the Order of the Phoenix. You know, he's in a couple Wizarding Wars. So Arthur's magic, and he has to like reverse all these spells done on toilets, like when they bring the toilets to life. Like I said, misuse of magic. So he has to reverse a lot of spells as we get to this wand. This wand is also perfectly straight. But if we look at the handle right here, we notice it has some swirls and kind of like a granite tone to it. I really like that. It just kind of looks like this design is just purely inside of here, etched inside of here. I really like that. The bottom of the wand is a little bit rounded, so no, you cannot set this one down on the table either. As we go down the shaft of the wand, it's kind of like it's not a dark walnut color. A lot of the wands are dark walnut, but this one's more of a, I don't know, like a light brown. And we take a look at that trademark right there. This one is a 2018. Let's take a look at the strength. This one has a little bit of bend to it, but I would give Arthur the benefit of the doubt because he can produce very good magic. He's a very good person. He also took Harry in as if he were his own. He would do anything to protect his kids. And let's talk about the handle now. The handle is a lot bigger than Molly Weasley's wand. So I got my hand all the way to the neck of the wand right here. And as you see, there's a good inch and a half right there still for me to hold. So there's various ways you can hold this wand. You don't have to hold it the same exact way every single time. So this is Arthur Weasley's wand right here. Let's take one more good look at it. And now let's move on to the youngest of the Weasleys, Ginny Weasley.
Yeah, the DA sounds good, but let's make it stand for Dumbledore's army, because that's the Ministry's worst fear.
Ginny Weasley. Now, her Patronus is a horse, which I find rather weird. I can't in no way, shape, or form imagine why her Patronus would be a horse. But then again, I don't think you really get the opportunity to pick a Patronus. Once you figure out how to cast a corporeal Patronus, expecto Patronum! Whatever comes out of your wand that's what it is. I don't think you could change it. I think Tonks was able to change her Patronus, but that's a whole nother story. And guess what Ginny's wand is? You would. Unknown length and unknown core, but we do know that her wand is 14.5 inches or 36.5 centimeters. Now let's take a closer look at her wand real quick. Whose wand does this remind you of? To me, I think this wand kind of reminds me of Sirius Black's wand, only because it's black, just like Sirius Black's wand. This one is perfectly straight, maybe a little bit of bend from production. But let's look at the bottom of the handle right here. It's a little rounded right here, but the handle has two different features to it. We start off with the swirls right here that you can see, and right here it's kind of like a diamond pattern going around right here. So it's got two different shapes of a handle, and again, my hand is at the top of the handle, the neck, and we got that much space to deal with. So her wand, you can pretty much hold it however you want and cast your bat bogey hexes all over the place. Now this one is a lot skinnier than Arthur and Molly Weasley's wand. But I like its sleekness. And, you know, usually I don't like that the shaft of the wand would be nice and smooth, but I do like it in this one. It's sleek, it's smooth. My favorite color is black, if you can't tell. And we look a little bit closer, we see that trademark. This is a 2019. So it looks like the trademarks kind of jump all over the place with the Weasley wands. Now let's go ahead and do the test. Her wand is a little bit bendy, and I guess you can kind of hone that in by how she gets imperioused by Lord you-know-who, by the diary from Tom Riddle. She was doing all sorts of things, killing Hagrid's chickens, writing stuff on the wall, Heir of the Heir, beware. And so I could kind of see the flexibility in her magical abilities, but I think her wand would stay true to her. The spell that she's most known for is the Bat Bogey Hex. So she is also really gifted in the magical abilities. Let's go to the next one up, Ron Weasley. Harry, it's you that has to go on. Not me, not Hermione, you. Ron Weasley's wand, Patronus Jack Russell Terrier. His wand is really exciting. Willowwood, unicorn hair, and 14 inches supposedly. We don't get much of these. It's so nice to have a wand with a characteristic behind it. It gives it that much more of a feeling of you hold it in your hand and you just kind of feel the power of the wand. Now this is Ron Weasley's second one. His first one was a hand-me-down that got broke with the Whomping Willow incident. So let's look a little closer at his wand. His wand greatly resembles Harry Potter's wand. I actually got Harry Potter and Ron's wand mixed up at one point. So we take a look at the nubby characteristic of this wand, the nubby handle. I gotta say, excuse me, it's like a puke green color. And then we have some brown, red, and black in the shaft of the wand that's not perfectly symmetrical. It's a little rough around the edges, kind of like it got carved. And they just didn't feel like smoothing out the edges. And as we look at the date on here, we have 2019. Now, the handle of Ron's wand is kind of weird, because if you're thinking this is the shaft of the wand and this is the handle, it's pretty much big enough for a baby to hold. But I would think you'd kind of put your middle finger around the indent right here, the dip right here, and kind of hold it like that. Kind of hold the nub and the fist of your hand. That's the way I would hold it. I wouldn't really feel comfortable holding the shaft of the wand because, I don't know, I just wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Now, let's do this test. Ron Weasley's wand is actually rather bendy. Ron Weasley's magical ability is actually pretty good because he has the ability to learn. He has the ability to listen. He has the ability to surprise people. Ron Weasley is in the trio, and I think he's one of the more important ones of the trio. So we have Hermione in the trio. She's the brains. We have Harry. We have to do this. There's no way around it. And we have Ron that's kind of like, okay, what do we have to do? And eventually he kind of turns into this, okay, we need to do this. I know it's not going to be easy, but we need to do it. And he kind of turns into the voice of reason, I feel like. So this is Ron Weasley's wand, one of the red-headed flares of the family. Now, let's go ahead and check out the twins. I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. Right off the bat with the twins come in their own display. Now let's get these wands off here so that we can take a closer look at this display room. So here is the display for the Weasley twins wands. We got the W and W for Weasley and Weasley. And if you go up to the top of this, we have the W and W again in red. And take a look at the bottom. We have the Harry Potter trademark and timestamp 2020 on this. This is wood. And this is all metal. Now, let's take a look at Fred and George's wands. Both of their Patronuses are a magpie. And Fred's wand is of unknown length, unknown wood, and unknown core. But the measurement is 13 inches or 33.5 centimeters. Now, I want you to tell me, what do you think this wand resembles? I want you to drop a comment down below, pause the video right now, tell me what you think this wand resembles. And if you've already watched the unboxing of this video, don't cheat and go back and watch those videos. I'll wait. Okay, pine cone. Fred's wand resembles that of a pine cone, and you could completely see it now that I've said it. It's a brown color just like a pine cone. We go down the shaft. It's got a couple lumps on it. Down to the whole entire shaft of the wand, which has like a reddish, blackish color. It completely reminds me of a pine cone. And we come to this trademark right here, 2020. Now this one is actually fairly comfortable in my hand. You would kind of think, I don't know, maybe it might be after a couple of hours of battle and you're kind of, you're getting more intense and you're squeezing the wand harder and harder, that you would wind up with indentations in your hand. And that might be the case with this wand. As we take a look, this wand is very stiff. It's actually pretty light. It's pretty light. So you would look at this wand and think that it's heavy. This is probably one of the lighter wands of the Weasleys. Now let's go ahead and take a look at George's wand. George's wand is, of course, unknown length, unknown wood, and unknown core, but we do know his wand is 13 3/4 inches or about 35 centimeters. Now, pause the video again right after this. Take a look at this wand. Pause it right now and tell me, what does this wand look like? What does this wand remind you of? I'll give you a few seconds. This wand resembles that of a broomstick. Now, I really like that Fred and George's wands have a resemblance of some sort of materialistic thing. Fred's wand, I can't really understand why it would take the form of a pine cone. But George's wand, I could kind of see, because both Fred and George were on the Quidditch team. Now, this wand is my favorite of the Weasleys' wands. So if you had to ask me if I had to pick a favorite, this wand is it. Just look at the detail in this wand. This is a fantastic wand. Right here, the handle of the wand, we've got a bunch of designs. We get down to the neck, it's got even more designs. It get down the shaft of that wand, it's got that dark walnut color theme right there. Come back up, and we hit that timestamp of 2020. This one is magnificent. It's got a fairly long handle. Again, my hand is at the neck of the wand. We've got plenty of room, but I would kind of think my finger, if I were using this wand, would go right here, and I'd be casting all kinds of magic all over the place because I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. Speaking of that, these twins have such unprecedented and untapped and unrecognized magical abilities. Take a look at their jokes. A lot of people may think, oh, they're just practical jokes, blah, blah, blah. They don't really think about the magic, but think about the magic behind it. Puking pestles, Peruvian instant darkness. There's a potion to walk on walls. This takes a tremendous amount of magic. Actual magic. It's not tricks and tips and stuff. It's actual magic. And to the point where they opened up their own joke shop with the help of, we all know, Harry Potter giving them his Tri-Wizard Tournament winnings. The twins are fantastic. And I believe in the films they are in chronological order. So I want to say Fred is always on the left, George is always on the right, or it could be vice versa. But I'm pretty sure it's Fred on one side, George on the other side, all the time. That's what I've heard. Next time I watch the movies, I'm going to pay closer attention to that and see if one of them is always on the left, one of them is always on the right. So, now that we've talked about the twins' wands, let's go ahead and talk about Perfect Percy. Hello, Minister. Did I mention that I'm resigning? Perfect Percy is not so perfect as he has a non-corporeal Patronus. And you guessed it, unknown length, unknown wood, and unknown core, but we do know his wand is 15 3/4 inches long, or about 40 centimeters. Now this is a wand to match the length of Arthur Weasley. But this, Percy Weasley's wand, I actually love this one as we take off the name tag so that we can take a little bit closer look at this. Now, if you look at the top, the very top of the handle of this wand, what does this remind you of? To me, it reminds me of a 4-poster bed. The whole entire wand reminds me of a 4-poster bed. Just take a look at this right here and picture this on a 4-post bed. Exactly. This wand is really nice. It's a brownish color. It's really nice. It's really rough. And it's very, very heavy. Quality in this wand right here. We'll take a closer look right here. We got some carvings right here at the very, very top of the wand, including the top of the 4-post bed. Then we got some swirls. And it looks like in the swirls, there might be a little bit of the design inside the swirls. We go down to the neck of the wand. We get the trademark stamp of 2018. We go all the way down the shaft of this wand. It is a little rough around the edges, and it doesn't have a lot of gloss to it. This is a really, really nice wand. This wand is also perfectly straight, maybe a little bit of curvature due to design production. But this wand is really nice. It's actually probably one of my favorite wands just due to its simplicity and the the old-fashioned look that it has to it. Now, Perfect Percy, head boy, prefect, and he's always, I'm prim and I'm proper. And he's probably one of the most stuck-up, one of the most rude of all the Weasley twins. And if you haven't read the books, I urge you to read the books, because he was hell-bent on getting into the ministry, working for the ministry, to the point where he got into the ministry and he completely disrespected, disregarded, and turned his back on his family because he thought, I work for the minister. The minister is right. You need to listen to the minister, Father. You need to do this. You need to do that. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing that. And to the point where I think it was the Hogwarts battle that he finally figured out, like, he was being a jack. And he finally got into the battle. Hey, I'm resigning. And, you know, he went back to his family. He figured out what was good. That's the whole Weasley family value that we have right there. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next one. And you would think that might be Charlie's wand, but we're going to take a look at Bill's wand. Listen, I know goblins. If you struck any kind of bargain with Griphook, you must be exceptionally careful to live up to it. If you don't, he won't be forgiving. Bill's wand. The one who has werewolf tendencies because he was bit by Greyback. Oh my god. He has this big old scar across his face and he prefers his meat raw now. Bill Weasley with the Patronus of non-corporeal, and his wand is of unknown length, unknown wood, and unknown core. Just like 90% of the wands that are on this channel. But we do know the length is 14 inches, about 36 centimeters. Now, let's take this off, take a little bit of a closer look at Bill's wand. Now, Bill's wand reminds me of like a caveman stick. You know, they pick up their deals and they start hitting people and they use it as a weapon, like a club, a caveman club right here. Perfectly resembles to me that of a caveman club. But I'm going to ask you a question. This one sort of looks like Ron's wand. And Ron's wand kind of looks like Harry's wand. So my question is, do you want to see me do a comparison video between Bill Weasley, Ron Weasley, and Harry Potter's wand? Drop a comment down below. Let me know if that's something you might be interested in. But this wand is rough. This is a wand where if somebody got close enough, you just whack them on the head with it. Really hard, as hard as you can. And I don't think that this wand would break. This is probably one of the stiffest wands in the Weasley family. So we take a look at this rough style of a club wand. We get down to the timestamp right here. It is a 2018 version, and we go down the shaft of the wand. This is a rough wand all the way around, and the camera kind of looks like it's got a greenish tint to it, but this wand, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a brown wand. There is not much to it. There's not much to Bill Weasley, at least in the films. He's the more mature of the Weasley family. He's more of the proper, more of the respectful type. He doesn't demand respect. Respect kind of just calls to him. He's calm. He's relaxed. He'll give out warnings. And he'll pretty much just kind of live out his life. And he has that trademark Weasley family values within him. And now, unfortunately, there should be 9 Weasley wands, but there are only 8. Charlie Weasley's wand is the one that is missing from this collection. Not that it's missing, it's they don't make it. I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that he wasn't very involved in the books or the movies, you know, but he works with dragons. So he does have a part, especially in the Triwizard Tournament, when it's all about dragons right there at that point. And I think they even take Hagrid's dragon at one point and Charlie takes him. So I'm not exactly sure why he doesn't have a wand, but he does not have a wand. That being said, I'm going to go ahead, put all these wands next to each other. That way we can all take a closer look at all of the wands side by side. So here we have all 8 of the Weasley wands lined up, and you can see the lengths of each and every one are drastically different. So there's no really reoccurring theme with their lengths. They kind of just come as they are. So here we have Molly, and then we have Arthur, Ginny, Ron, Fred, George, Percy, and Bill. Now taking a look at all of these wands side by side. Like I said, the wands that come with the golden name tags are the ones that were bought individually, and the wands that don't have name tags are in a wand set. These wands are fantastic, and to be able to compare them side by side and just have all of the Weasley wands in one group, it's such a magical experience. It's just a shame that we can't add Charlie Weasley's wand into this closer look. And there we have it. All 8 of the Weasley wands. Drop a comment down below. Let me know which wand is your favorite and why. And let me know how this boom mic is working. First time using it. And thank you for joining me on this video and seeing all 8 of the wands in one video. I will put a link down at the bottom for each and every individual unboxing of the Weasley wands. And until next time, everybody, keep your eyes peeled. We will take Ron Weasley's wand and end it with knock.